here I am now honestly an advisor, and in fact Matt was my first PhD student, and I was very happy to have him. When I prepared this little speech, I looked into old emails, and maybe I have found the first one I ever got from Matt, and I think it's quite characteristic for him, and already showed a little some things which also became much clearer in the next couple of years. So I met him first in 2008, and he listened to a talk I gave about buildings. That's another thing, mathematicians invent buildings. You might also see them around you, but in fact buildings are mathematical structures, and they are not so easy to understand. I mean, you cannot just look at them, but you can study them. And for instance, there are some people, like a colleague of mine and I, who write books about that, like 700 pages or so. And Matt became interested in that and asked me about what a good start would be. And he told me in this email, I read the printout. This was just the first version of the book you gave me from your book. And I was especially interested in the n-pairs and the ways groups can act on buildings. And later he says, I think the n-pairs and group actions are definitely what I'm most interested in. I could see myself studying that over the summer. And now compares this with the title of his thesis, Strong Transitivity and Wild Transitivity of Group Actions on Affine Buildings. I mean, this shows a remarkable consistency in Matt's work. Already 3 years ago, he knew precisely what he wanted to do, and thanks to his thesis, we now know much more about group actions on buildings. So maybe I will not bore you too much with mathematical details. The thing was that there are different types of actions on these buildings, and they are important in group theory again, because letting groups acting on certain geometric structures like buildings gives a lot of algebraic information about these groups. And there are subtle differences between these group actions, and two of the most important group actions we have here are strongly transitive actions. They belong to the n-pairs, which Matt already mentioned in his first email, and the others, wild transitive, they are a little bit more subtle. And at the time when I suggested a subject for Matt's thesis, there was essentially only one example known where these two closely related actions really differ and are something else. And now, due to Matt's work, we have a bunch of many other examples, and so he really made real progress in that direction. And the last sentence in his email was, let me know what you think a good next step would be. That's also characteristic for Matt. He always wants to push ahead. He is the PhD student, but he pushed his advisor, and so we also came to have some joint papers and so on because of his initiative. So I'm really glad that Matt was my first PhD student, and please let me congratulate you once more for your fine work. Now you get the hood or something. Let's see, is it the right? Again, you are advising me. Yeah, you get this.